What up, YouTube? You already know Big Lou tapping back in with what I do with Big Lou NFZR2, baby. This video is gonna be kind of short, 10 minutes or so. Hopefully the wind ain't too bad. You guys are able to hear me. It's very windy today. It's been very windy the last few days. Um, but this is a reaction video to Conejos from the EBK channel when he had Dreamer from Corco on couple of nights ago on a live stream. It was about 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes. Um, and so I had some questions. First of all, let me start out by it was a good video. It wasn't, it was straight to the point. It was even done in a respectful manner. You know what I'm saying? Even though, they could be literally taking this dude's head off left and right, like pretty much what everybody's doing. But it answered a lot of questions for me because I remember way back when an individual, a vato named Dreamer de Corco came on and was with him on the same stream, and I believe it was a ACP video, ACP live stream. If not, then it was one from his channel. But uh, I was a little confused because I was like, well, wait a minute, this guy came on with him. So what it was, and he explained it. He said, I was giving the dude the benefit of the doubt of us, being youngsters and youths at the time when this happened, 30 years ago, or close to 30 years ago. I think it's about 30 years, or very, very close to 30 years. And, he was just basically saying, people, he gave him the benefit of the doubt. It's been so many years, he hasn't been around the dude or seen the dude in all these years. But then, after a while and hearing him, the way he took off with his channel and the way he speaks and spoke about different individuals and different situations, he was like, oh no, you know what I mean? And so the only part about it was I wasn't sure if he's the one that actually shot the paperwork to different channels for them to expose him, or if or how that actually happened. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth, and you know what I mean. You can't look at it that way. Some people say, well, the guy was 14, 15, 16 years old, whatever. But the fact is, no, you're in a facility. You're rocking and rolling in that facility pretty much on a daily basis. Not to mention with other group segments, but within your own collective. Homeboys are testing homeboys to see if they have what they call in their quota, heart, right? And if not, then they put you on the leva, right? They put you on pretty much leva means, if you guys don't know, when they say he's on the leva, that means he's basically no good. You know what I'm saying? Basically no good. Me personally, I've never heard anybody being put on the leva and then going on to have a prison career, in good standings. Maybe at first, but once it got exposed that they did some telling, or they went asshole backwards, or they did some gay shit, whatever it might be, then then it'd be handled and dealt with accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyways, I believe Conejo did an excellent job by the way he navigated that little 35 minutes that he gave us with Dreamer from Corco. I think Dreamer did an excellent job the way he presented himself as far as where he's at now, and also how a little bit and that's another thing too. I gotta give him props too. He didn't really like go into the details about how it was like full force, like a lot of cats do, where they want to put it across to you. They want you to understand, and they're trying to paint that picture so bad for you to understand. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, they're putting that brush on that canvas, and they're trying to paint that picture so you totally get what they're saying, because they want you to believe that they were a stone cold #1 stunner. You feel me? A straight hitter. You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of these cats that went through YA were hitters. But the thing is this, man. And I don't care who it is. At some points you're going to be outnumbered very bad. It's not going to be in your favor, and you're going to take some lumps, and that just comes with that type of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a few riots where I got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I got lumped up good. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is this, you never run. You never run on your homies. You know what I'm saying? You never leave nobody in the dust. You just don't do that, because what'll happen is it'll catch up with you real soon when you do something like that. But you'll be, and again, I'll say it again, like I said a little while ago, you'll be dealt with accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And however, and you know how that's taken out when somebody needs to go. You know what I'm saying? There's only, weapons involved, and 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be weapons involved. You'll have your bomber, you have your hitters, right? Um, and you'll be taken, to the bank. Just leave it like that. But yeah, I think that live was done cool, smoothly, where everything, no big words were being used. Everybody was, once they were able to catch up to speed. In other words, if they didn't tap in right when the live was started, when Dreamer started talking, or EBK Conejo started, breaking it down and what was going on, who was who, and what was what, as far as what was going on in that particular live stream. Once everybody got up to par as far as understanding what was going on, then it was all good in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, it was very self-explanatory, and everybody knows who the freaking culprit was, or who the subject being spoken about was in that video. And you know what, man? I don't feel bad for nobody, man. The motherfucker did it to himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you keep it 100, there's no need to worry about no other shit coming out in the wash, or in this case, anything's being exposed. You know what I'm saying? But when you continue to lie, and you lie so much that you can't even keep up with your own lies, you know what I'm saying? That's where the problem comes. And like I mentioned in my other video, I seen a lot of things that were being said and contradicted early on, and I got red flags, and when you've been around, when somebody's bullshitting, right? And, I just took it with a grain of salt, you know what I'm saying? And I just knew what time it was, you know what I'm saying? And, I continue to watch him sometimes. I watched a lot of the videos, but it was because, he was funny at times. He did have charisma. He did command the room. He could get the room's attention, put it that way. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, there's just too many contradictions, on all kinds of different things, on the different types of yards he hit, to being this, and then later on not being that. So how can he be that if how can he be a dropout if he's never dropped in on anything? Um, the one that really got me was, and I spoke to a lot of homeboys from like Stockton, and they really didn't dig him because he couldn't get the neighborhoods right. Some of the cliques and hoods he was saying were not from Stockton. He kept saying Diamonds were from Stockton. They're not from Stockton. They're from Sacramento. But the one that really got me was putting out the false P-dubs, saying that a certain somebody was a weirdo. You know what I mean? That was just way over the top. No coming back from. And like Boxer said the other day, man, these type of tactics are only done for one reason only: for the bag. And for the bag, meaning views, super chats, super stickers, cash apps, anything you get during one of those videos is considered the bag. You know what I mean? Clicks, all that shit. It's all for the bag. You know what I mean? And so if you're willing to do some jive ass shit like that in order to obtain a bag or make your bag bigger, that's just that says a lot about you as a person, man. And you know what I mean? And in my opinion, it's like you can't be trusted. You know what I'm saying? Because you were hoping that that video, by you putting that out and putting that fake P-dubs out there, paperwork, that it was gonna crush dude in his channel. You know what I mean? And that's just not the way shit works, man. People don't look at something, especially something like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not familiar with the paperwork from YA, like I mentioned before, but I know the paperwork that goes around from CDC, from California Department of Corrections, right? And I mentioned them in another video, and I'll mention them again now, just so those that didn't see the other video but are watching this video will understand more clearly. You got your LSS, your legal summary status sheet, that you'll get a stamped inmate copy when you hit the reception center, right? You also, if you're validated at that time, you will get a 114 lockup order straight from R&R, straight from receiving and releasing, and it'll be the reason why you're being placed in assay, which we call the hole or the oil or the shoe, right? and it'll say right there you're associated with this prison gang, or you're actual member of this prison gang, right? Um, and nobody will ever sign that because you're saying that. I'm not telling you that, or I'm not agreeing to what you put on this paper. You're saying that, so that you'll never see an inmate sign it, right? On top of that, you'll get like I said, your 114. You'll have your LSS, and then your 128 Gs from either your initial committee or your initial committee, ICC, or UCC, Unit Classification Committee. And so that means your initial would mean when you first touch down on the yard and say you're in a level 3 or level 4 and you're on orientation. Once you go to committee, that's your ICC. Now your UCC, your Unit Classification Committee, is when you get transferred from one unit to another unit. So you might go from the yard, say yard 2 on Solano, and then you go to the whole, right? Um, Something like that, right? That would be your UCC. And those are your CC1, your correctional counselor 1, will go into your C file, your central file, before you go to committee, anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, and they'll check 3 things. If you have any arson on your jacket, in your file, any escapes in your file, and any R. You guys know what that R stands for, right? And if you have anything of that, then it'll say in your 128 Gs from either your ICC or your UCC that you haven't been cleared as of the day they looked at it at your C file. Or if you don't have none of those 3 things, it'll say you've been cleared as of the day they looked at it. And that's for classification. That's for the classification procedure itself. The little procedure that associate warden, the captain, the lieutenant, the program sergeant, CC1, CC2, might be IGI might be in there. You know what I mean? A psych might be in there, and that's how they clear you to go to whatever yard or unit you're going to go to, right? And all those different the paperworks are all important to keep and hold on to as you're down for that term. Because at any time you could be, these yards flip all the time where they go from GP to PC and PC to GP in a matter of a few 4 to 6 months. So it's very important that you keep your paperwork. That way, when you drive up to where you're going, you can show your celly immediately that you're all good, and then you can, slide it to where it's got to go, so that your homeboys and the collective that you belong to can clear you overall for the yard. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. Paperwork is very important. Some people call it your driver license. And so, yeah, you know what I mean? So that's all with that. And if like some of these guys brag about having all these different positions in prison, then you know what to look for as far as penal codes and things such as that. As far as what charges are faulty, what charges would immediately pull up a red flag, and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So that's enough being said about that. But if anybody has any questions about anything what I just said right now, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. And I don't have no problem. If there's many questions there, I don't have no issue or no problem with making a video based on the questions that I received or whatever it might be. Or even doing another video, and maybe it has nothing to do with the topic at hand on the video, but I'll still talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Or I answer it, excuse me. A lot of these questions have already been answered from guys such as Boxer and Comics Perspective and other channels, you know what I'm saying? Renegade Media. So yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. But before I do, shouts out to Conejo from EBK. Shouts out to Listo from Upstate Point of View. And shouts out to Jay Hands, Jay Manos, the Renegade Media News. Also shouts out to Boxer from Paradigm Media News and Sandman, and shouts out to Flacco from ACP, right? Them are the channels I've been fucking with, that I rock with from the prison genre, the prison genre, and yeah, I stepped away from a lot of channels on the, a lot of channels from a couple of different genres because I only watch a few genres. But I've stepped away from a lot of channels, man, because I'm tired of just the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? The constant calling people bitches and punks and just pull up this, pull up that, pull up man, da, and all that. Bop, 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 out the side of the motherfucker's necks. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, people's Big Lou tapping on out. Bye, ya.